Hey everyone, my name is Smoothie. You most likely don't know me, so I'll start this off with an introduction. I got introduced to this series back in 2014 when Dark Souls 2 came out, but it wasn't until 2017 when I first played it. Yes, Dark Souls 2 was my first Souls game. Don't worry about that. And I have been in love with this franchise since I played it back then. It's been 9 years since then, which is crazy to think about. I played through Dark Souls 2, and then 3, then Bloodborne, and I made my way back, played through Dark Souls 1, and then Demon Souls. So I played through everything. I played through Demon Souls up to Night Rain. I played them all. So let me say this. While some might not consider me a veteran because I didn't play back in 09 when Demon Souls came out, I am by all means not a newbie. I'm not new to this franchise. I'm not a PvP guy when it comes to the Souls games. I'm a big PvE enjoyer. I dabbled into PvP when I played through Dark Souls 3, but I never got fully into it. I played a little bit of Bloodborne PvP, but most of my PvP experience came from Dark Souls 3. I mostly played through the Colosseum when that came out. When did that? Oh my god, that was a while ago. But I never got fully into it whenever I did. I mostly just loved exploring the worlds that FromSoft creates, and I loved, fighting bosses, fighting the enemies, stuff like that. The usual stuff. I was never a big PvP guy. But fast forward to right now, August 22nd. Yes, the network test is currently live. I have it open right now in the background. I just finished the match right now. I love the DUSKBLOODS. I love this game. I am addicted to this game. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. And as I go into the game and my thoughts and feelings towards it, please forgive the horrid quality of the gameplay footage. I used an old capture card because I couldn't find my good one. I have no idea where it went. I was searching for it for like an hour and I couldn't find it. I don't know where it went, but well, yeah. Well, let's get into DUSKBLOODS. If for whatever reason you don't know what the DUSKBLOODS is, it's the upcoming game by the developers from Software. The DUSKBLOODS is a PvPvE game that you can consider a battle royale, I guess, that is set in the Victorian era, similar to Bloodborne, which is another game by them, if you don't know for some reason. Now, obviously, this game has a much bigger emphasis on PvP compared to the other games in the franchise, and that might make a lot of players feel isolated because PvE is the biggest focus on the franchise. And I understand, because as I said earlier, I am one of those guys. I play PvE specifically. I don't play PvP. I'm not a PvP guy. I got into the game extremely worried that I might not enjoy it. That it might not be for me, which obviously would be fine. Not everything has to cater to me. But I want to enjoy the game too, because I love this franchise. So I kept my hopes high. Even though I had a feeling it wouldn't be for me, I was hoping it will be. Just because I love this franchise. Like I said, I love this franchise. I want to keep playing this franchise. So when I finally played it last night, 10 p.m. up to 2 a.m., I was playing the game. I was stunned. The game is gorgeous. The art is gorgeous. The music is gorgeous. And oh my god, the combat is so phenomenal. They turned the PvP combat from the older games that I personally find tedious into something so thrilling, so fast-paced, something so fun and engaging. Please bear in mind, this is my personal opinion. I know how loved PvP is for the Souls games. I understand the appeal for it. But it's not for me. Which is fine. I'm not dissing Souls PvP or anything. But I'm just saying how the DUSKBLOODS made PvP that I don't personally enjoy into something I am in love with. And let me say how much I love that PvP, because whenever I played through the DUSKBLOODS, every single match, I actively hunt down every single player that's in that match. I hunt everyone down. If I see you, I will chase you until you're dead. That's how much I love the PvP in this game. Which I would never do that. I don't invade in Dark Souls. I don't do that. I don't enjoy PvP. If there's an invader in my world, I'm the kind of guy to alt F4. Let's talk a little bit about how the game works. So each match is about 30 minutes, and they're divided into 4 phases. Phases 1 through 3 are relatively similar. Your goal is to build up levels and get more of this point system called virtue. I'll touch on that more in a second. So you can get into phase 4, and phase 4 is a free-for-all. You and 2 other players will be battling, and the last one standing wins. And I mentioned this earlier. I said the game is kind of like a battle royale, but kind of not. Let me explain that. So in each match there are 8 players, and you get to choose between 4 regions you can spawn. Kind of similar to a battle royale in that aspect, where you have a bunch of people and you're on one single map and you get stronger and stuff like that, and then you fight to death or whatever. But there are infinite lives in the game, and in phase 1 to 3, there are like a bunch of enemies and bosses around, and you could fight like big bosses that are called trespassers, and you could fight them together. There is no PvP when you're fighting trespassers. And something really interesting is, so you might be wondering, how do you lose? How does it get to a free-for-all? At the end of phase 2 and 3, players will be kicked out of the match. They lose. And how do you lose? It's the bottom 2 players of phase 2 get kicked out, and the bottom 3 players of phase 3 get kicked out, leaving only 3 left in the match, which leads to the phase 4 free-for-all. And you might be thinking, how do you not get eliminated? Well, you gain virtue. Virtue is a point system that rewards you for basically doing pretty much anything. Like, I believe you can get virtue for killing other players, enemies, collecting, exploring, and lastly, rituals. Rituals is a mechanic that appears in phase 2 and 3. They spawn in a random spot throughout the map, and you can get a crap ton of virtue for it. You basically just go to the ritual site and you pray, and you are tied to that ritual site, and you get a crap ton of virtue for that. But there are also these stones that are around the ritual site, there's one's called a bloodstone, and I think a prayer stone. I actually don't know what it's a red and gold. The red is called the bloodstone, obviously. I don't know what the gold stone does, but the red stone, when you grab it, it gives you more virtue for killing players. And I'm gonna be so honest, that's how I keep getting to phase 4, because I get the redstone in phase 2 and 3, and I just kill everyone. And so I end every match with like 100 virtue, when everyone else is like 50. 60 the highest. There are 6 characters you can choose from in the network test. I don't really know anything about the 6 characters other than the one I chose. Which, the one I chose, as you can see, is a man named Zork. He's a big armored guy with a big metal weapon. Yes, his weapon is an undersea cable. A giant undersea cable is his weapon. And he uses a spear gun as his ranged weapon. He also has a jetpack. He can ram into you with that. He has missiles on his back. He is so fun. I love heavy weapons. I know this is a bit generic, especially in modern day Souls. I love strength builds. And if you love like heavy builds and strength and stuff like that, you'll love Zork in DUSKBLOODS. I want to get into unedited gameplay in just a second, but before that, I want to get my feelings about the game. I love the gameplay, as I went over. It's incredibly fast and fun, and honestly, I have no complaints on that front. The netcode is the best Souls and even Nintendo netcode I've ever seen. I haven't had any desync issues or any crashes or anything. No issues at all with the netplay. No issues. Everything was working flawlessly. Besides that first session where it just wasn't up, I haven't had any issues. Everything was working fine. And as I said earlier, the game is beautiful. I love the art direction. I've always loved the Victorian aesthetic. So this is amazing for me. And I will say, as much as I'm enjoying the game, and as much as I will enjoy it when the game fully drops, I wish this was a proper single-player RPG. The world is so interesting and so beautiful that I wish I could take my time and explore everything. I'm sure there'll be a campaign to it, so hopefully that'll scratch the itch. But this game is so beautiful, it's a shame that the only way to play is by speeding through a match. Okay, I did enough talking, so I'll give you my first ever online match, completely unedited, with absolutely no commentary. You won't have to hear my voice again for the rest of the video. See ya.
revolver is at your service.